Oh, Tom, got your T50-12 brake booster rebuilt. Going to go over a few things. As I mentioned earlier, we replaced the vacuum diaphragm because this thing had seen better days. New vacuum diaphragm inside. Remanufactured poppet assembly. There's two poppets, two sealing surfaces in here. One that you can see and one that you can't. That's inside, and maintain the original gold finish like on your that was there in the first place. Did not repaint your slave cylinder. It honed out just fine, but did not repaint it per your instructions. Replaced the incorrect, I don't know who did these made up these fitting, these plugs that went in here. So I got you the correct original plugs that go in here. This one was in this port right here. I'm not sure what that's about because that's where your brake light switch is supposed to go, and I'm not sure where the brake light switch is on this car. Got your two fittings here that go in here, the adapters for attaching brake lines, input and output. Vacuum check valve was full of sludge and grunge and rust, so got that taken care of. What else? Obviously, all the plating that got new CAD plating, and that's so that the inside of the can is plated and rust proofed, so that I have something for the diaphragm to ride against and seal against. On the booster itself, this is a little bleed hole right here, hole just for. You've got a stack of parts inside here, and then at the bottom you got the vacuum, the final vacuum seal between vacuum and hydraulic. And this little guy right here is the first line of defense, so that this stack right here, if it starts to fail, you'll get a little seepage out of here, and it gives you an indication that it's time to get the brake booster resealed. In terms of checking the booster, I'll pressurize them. We'll be checking our bleed screws for seepage. Got your original bleed screws in here. You don't need to use this bleed screw when bleeding the system. Just use this top screw. Do the top screw, bleed screw first, do a lap around the car, and then this one last, and you should be all set. Might take 2 laps around the car. Those 300 SLs are a little hard to bleed sometimes. What else was I going to mention? Oh, yes. This is a test port right here. You can use this with a vacuum gauge to test your booster. This hose right here leads to this gauge right up here. And so what's happening is when the vacuum is applied to the booster, both of these gauges are going to read the amount of vacuum as supplied by my machine here. And then as the booster is activated and brake hydraulic is applied, this gauge is going to remain zero. This gauge remains stationary, and this gauge is going to go down to 0 when the booster is fully applied. And that's what you can use, a vacuum gauge right here when the car is idling and you apply the brakes. Excuse me. You got a vacuum gauge, and you can watch that go to 0. Over on the, on the hydraulic side, input. My label's coming off. Interesting. Okay. Input. Both gauges are tied together. This one goes up, maxes out, and this goes up and maxes out and reads final input as input pressure is applied by the machine, by my machine. Output, both gauges are tied together. This one goes and maxes out. This one reads final output pressure. Now, before applying vacuum, I'm just going to show you that the input and the output are the same. So if a person does not have vacuum, you still have brakes. You just have a hard pedal to push. So if we got input of 350, we got output of 350. So the booster, if you lose vacuum, you still have brakes. Now then, I'm going to apply vacuum, and what we're looking for is a differential. Here's our input, and here's our output. And this booster is a T50-12, has a 3.7 to 1 boost ratio. So 3.7 times 350 is going to put us at around 1300 psi, so we should read a final output pressure at right around above 1200. Numbers. Okay, while we're under pressure, we check for leaks. Make sure our bleed screws are holding. Make sure we're not leaking from the weed pole down here. And here's everything together. One time. Okay, looking good. Got you a good booster. I also put the little rubber bumpers back here on that came there originally. I don't know that they necessarily used in your application, but they were there from the factory. I took a picture of their placement before I cleaned up the booster. Anyway, got you a good booster. Thank you for sending it to me. I appreciate it and your patience. Thank you.